my beautiful lights. This is very, very powerful this morning. This is always for our highest and best good and the highest good of all, through the divine will of Mother, Father, God, in service to humanity, for the elevation of humanity's consciousness from the states of suffering and pain into the states of harmonious bliss and coherence and clarity. To receive these messages, all you have to do is say yes. If you are not there yet and you would like to listen, you can still hear without completely opening. Yes, you have the control, you have the power, you have the divine authority to say yes. What enters your space, that's what we're remembering, that's what we're teaching. And because this is evergreen, meaning it is golden throughout all space-time, if you find this years to come and you can still say yes to receive. Also, if you feel as if you don't want to say yes now, and then later on down the road you say yes, the yes is the opening, the yes is the ring, the yes is the holy matrimony to the virgins of your soul to be set free. Tusi, akana. Etu akana tenesewa esewa eti su. Etu atuno anakawasi akana aka si. We would like for you to think about the cells in your body. The cells in your body that hold the capacity of everything that you have ever been through. What we're experiencing right now is the bifurcation process of the splitting of the atoms to remove the old. It is discomfort. It is unparalleled worlds where you no longer know who you are. Everything you think you were has now changed, because who you think you were was a part of a system, an imprint that kept you enslaved. It kept you in a lower realm of poverty, of war, of violence, of separation, of blame and shame, of guilt, of judgment, of self-condemnation, acts that are not healthy truly for the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit to fly freely and roam. So the bifurcation process that each and every person is experiencing, this can come in the forms of extreme sweats, cold, chills, sickness to purge the upper and the lower. It can be all ways that we perceive the body being sick. Do not let anything fool you, please. Your sickness is your purging. Your sickness is the removal of what no longer serves. If you can remember that, you treat your body with honor and integrity, because you know and remember that your body was created in the highest light and resonance of the divine will of God. Your body knows what to do. Your cells have been encoded with the Trinity codes since the beginning of time. We have come so far and been removed so far from allowing us to listen to the body, to trust the body, to know that the body and Source God knows what to do through us, to remove the old that we continue to look for outside circumstances and situations and things to put into our bodies, which then poison us. We say this with the most love, with the most compassion, because once you are aware of this, you cannot unsee it. And the removal of the old does take time. It takes dedication and commitment to a practice of healthy living, mindful living, awareness living. You see, the bifurcation process, the splitting of the atom, is the exercising of the old to remove the old patterns, to remove the addiction, to remove the guilt, to remove the anger, to remove pain and suffering. Because once we are aware of the scars within the body, we allow ourselves to nourish them. The tears that we cry nourish the versions of us that we're told are too much. We nourish the versions of us that we're told we would never amount to anything, that we are not good enough just as we are. And those tears nourish the scars of our soul. And ultimately, just like rain and nurturing, tender, loving care with our vegetation, flower, animal kingdom, we see them grow and thrive. When we do the same for us, we allow those scars to be healed. The words of our love balm over. And in those scars, we see the flowers grow and bloom, the seeds that we have planted. However, the old system would have us believe that the affirmation is all you need. But we see that you have to become the affirmation. If you would like to see happiness in your life, happiness is a choice. If you would like to see joy and compassion in your life, those are choices. If you would like to see wealth and abundance in your life, you have to believe that you are worthy of receiving. And to receive, you must be open to receive. The vulnerability of being open can seem daunting and terrifying to a world that has taught us and imprinted in us to be afraid, to think that everything waiting around the corner is an attack or another scary movie. You see, when you are aware of that, you realize it is the game. The game is to keep us enslaved, and you can play your cards right. Or, better yet, you fold. I am done. I no longer want to be a part of this system. You win at your own game. And when we say those words, everyone still existing in the game sees it for what it is. That is their journey. It becomes their path. That is the hardest part. When you love something, you must set it free. And when you set it free, God takes the reins and teaches. You see, for many of us, we have felt that we have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We have to carry the burdens of everyone else, and that is not the point. The point for sensitive souls and for kind souls is to get out alive. Everyone can walk with you, but if they are trying to hold you back for fear, you must let that go. That is fear. That is the fear of separation. For many, it is the fear of abandonment. Those abandonment wounds go so, so deep. But my love, we would like to remind you that the Mother, Father Divine has got you, has got us. Always, always has. Always and in all ways will. That is the divine will. That is the path. That is the way and the truth, the trajectory change. The ship has turned. And by being all of you in love, in radiance, in your golden essence, in the royal kingdom. And we would like to mention that this is not a hierarchical program. That is the old system to keep enslaved, to keep separated, to keep in violence, to keep in war, to keep the fight. The battle of the sexes has gone on for decades and centuries, and that is done. It is over. It is gone. It has been removed from the systems. All that remains is the imprint to remove, to rewrite the program, rewrite it with love. That is why it has been so difficult. For you to make it out alive means you set your soul free. The multidimensional beings that each and every one of us are. We are the bridge. We are the bridge. We are the bridge. There is no fear here. We are fully ourselves. We are fully aligned. We are who we are set here and meant to be, living in purpose. To be the guiding light for all others to see, to bear witness to. You see, for most and for many, there was never a leading role, a leading example who was brave enough to get out. That is bravery and courage, because you have to face your deepest fears and insecurities with love and compassion. That is why the true teachers are taught to help and to guide in those ways. The process is not easy. The removal is not easy. Everything that you have seen in the movies of the purge, of the exorcism, feels like a removal of something that is so stuck and so a part of your body that it feels like shaking convulsions when the guilt and the shame leave, when the judgment and the worry leave, when the doubt and the self-condemnation leave, when the fear of judgment of others leaves. It is the removal of. You see, the energy playing fields are just that. They are energy pools. You choose the energy pool that you would like to live in until you have learned the lessons in those spaces, and you decide to open the corridor, open the portal to the next pool. And when you get to the next pool, yes, it will feel like you are a beginner again, because you begin again to learn each and every beautiful space within that pool of existence. You learn to evolve, you learn to grow, you learn to become. It makes you more of who you are. You see, there are many people who would never dare to be in positions that would allow the judgment of others, because that is a difficult spot to be in. However, when you know your spot, you are unwavering. Your spot is in your heart. It is in your body. It is in your mind. And when the three collide and the worlds change, you are free to move about the country. as commercials would say. You become the multidimensional being that moves, experiences life, taking bits and pieces of the experience right here in the now moment to live and grow and be all that you can be. So whichever playing field you are in right now, it is a simple question: what have I been feeling lately? There are so many forces of nature through God working with us right now that it is a simple choice. Free will is a choice. Divine will is the way. Living in accordance to the divine means the removal of the old. And it is miraculous. Figure out what position you are in, what playing field of emotion you are in. And then choose something different if you are ready to get out, if you are ready to see something new, if you are ready to experience a different lifestyle, if you are ready to experience a new feeling in your body. We would love to ask, who would I be without anxiety? Who would I be without worry? Who would I be without fear? Allow yourself to go there. The go there is the dream work. It is the envision. It is the insight of how it would feel. Allow yourself to feel that. And then every time the old energy, whatever it is you're working with, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, every time that energy comes back into play, you simply say, no, no more. I choose this. I choose love. I choose centeredness. I choose clarity. I choose God within. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. And so it is done, it is done, it is done. We give thanks. Oh, so I was sitting up just drinking my French press coffee, and it was like I couldn't sit still. It was almost like Spirit was like, please go, deliver this message, deliver this message. And so Spirit is always calling. It's your soul. And if you have eyes to hear, eyes to see and ears to hear, the message will be delivered for the trajectory shift, for the turning of the ships of humanity. The tides have already been turned. Victory is ours. The divine inheritance is ours. Anybody and everyone is welcome at the table at any given time. It is a choice. Free will is a choice. That is why it has been given. And we would like to remind you that it does not matter what you choose. You are always and in all ways loved and loved. So your choice is simple. Are you truly happy? Are you truly fulfilled? You know the answer. And if the answer strikes you, hits a chord, makes you feel something, take baby steps into the new, into the great unknown. There are true teachers that have been, I'm hearing, summoned all around the world. We are alive and well, and we are here to guide and teach. We are here to show. We are living examples. We have been through it. We have been through it. And it is a blessing to be out and to be alive and to share the great teachings. It is very important as we are where we are. Sometimes the bravery is to approach, because when you see and feel and experience God's presence within, you know it's time to let something else go. Sometimes that's the hardest part. I can bear witness to it. Because when you feel it in your body and you're like, oh man, I know that this decision is going to catapult me into a space that's uncomfortable, but also a space that's so new. The mind will play tricks on you. And as long as you are aware, you can say, no, I feel this. I feel the nudge. I feel the guidance. Get back to you. Get back to listening to your intuition, that still small voice. You know the voice. You know the voice. It's important that we listen. Sometimes it just takes getting out in a space that is silent enough for you to hear. Making time for what counts. Each and every one of us count. Each and every one of us are here so beautifully and so perfectly. So perfectly. Whether you know it or not, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. We all are. Every single one of us. No matter where you are, no matter where you live, no matter what side you choose, no matter what country you're from, no matter the color of our skin. We are all equal and created in the image and likeness of God. And when we work in that realm, we all thrive. We all succeed. We are living and breathing it. Wow. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. Yesterday I was going to support a beautiful friend of mine, artist friend. She has an amazing showing downtown in Westport in Kansas City, Missouri. And the choice for me in this last spaces of my life has been really to close the door to the old. I've let it go, but sometimes it's like when you let it go, it keeps kind of coming back, like it wants you to reattach to it, to choose the old way, the old version again. And the old version of me was, I think I spoke of it in this video, where you want to carry the weight of others. You want to help everybody, but you realize that everybody's on their individual boat. And if you are tied and anchored to each individual boat, you yourself, it's so hard to pull. And then if you untether from that boat and you let them learn their life lessons, that was a fear of mine, knowing that they might suffer. But I have to go back and I have to realize that it was in my suffering that I learned the greatest lessons. It was in my pain, it was in my absolute darkness that I learned the greatest lessons. And sometimes, who do we think we are to even think that we have the capacity or the power to pull everyone along? That's where full faith and trust comes in, is to let them learn. Let them learn. We're doing a disservice by holding on. And so for me personally, it was closing the door to let everyone learn according to the divine will of God, and choosing to be fully embodied in the presence, because that is where I assist the most. That's where I assist the most. I was at a restaurant the other day and I went up to a friend and was telling him bye, and he later shared with me that the people he was sitting next to was like, whoa, you don't experience that every day. And so your presence alone activates. They feel something that they've never felt before, and the feeling activates something within them. That's how beautiful it is, just to exist and to be. Just to be. And it happens so beautifully. And so as I was going down to visit her, to support her, I saw the ring of fire complete. The fire lit up in a full circle, and holy matrimony, and I said, yes, 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 yes. So thank you so much for being here. It's an honor, a blessing, and a privilege to be here and to be in service in this way. It's like the most beautiful and precious gift that is yours. Everything that you've ever dreamed of being and so much more. It fits you it fits you within every cell of your body. It's when you put that body on, and you are like, I couldn't have designed it better myself. That's how perfect it is. That's how perfect it is. So I would encourage each and every one of you watching this to discover more about yourself. Take those dives of who you are, to love yourself more, to love all versions of you. Remember the scars that you have endured, and then when you're ready, be willing to go back and nurture those scars. Start with a letter to a past version of yourself. I promise it helps. And if you would like to dive deeper, you can go visit my website, withinbyjen.com. You could fill out the contact information and what services you are wanting. I have one-on-ones. I have Zoom, and that can be done anywhere in the multi-dimensional space. We don't have to be face-to-face for me to feel and experience. If you are local, I will be teaching at Creative Spark Gallery on May 30th. I will be posting more of that on my socials here in the recent weeks. I think we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. What else? My book, if you would like to dive a little deeper, but you're not ready to go within, my book has my spoken word messages that have come through, and then on the other side of the page it is blank so that you can journal and write down anything that it surfaces for you. A lot of times in the spoken word, they are designed to trigger a point, but remember, the trigger point is just that field of, I feel like if I go back there, it's going to be an explosion, but also the space where you're like, oh, that's a war zone, that's a scar, that's where I need to go back to. And so we go back with love. That's why the letters, the tenderness, the prayer is so important, to remember those spaces. So yeah, it would be an honor to work with you. If you feel called, please visit my website. You can leave a message here. You could even private message me. However, I am very mindful of sending the links to, so please don't be offended if I don't completely open up, because I have had it happen before where others just want access and they want to ask a whole bunch of questions, and then they never have intention to actually buy. And I lived in that space for a very long time, and now that I am closing that version of myself, because that version of myself didn't know how to fully be who I am and honor my time and space. And I'm honored and I'm loving this space of where I am. So anyway, withinbyjen.com. You can sign up on the contact information, and I hope to see you there. I'm Jennifer Renee, and this is Within by Jen. It's within each and every one of us. It always, always has been. I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.